I think the most likely outcome is the Niners punt. That they're just going to say that if we can't get a deal done, then we'll roll you over to your 5th year. The problem with that is that Aiyuk then says, okay, and I'm going to hold out. And
I would say,
I'm not going to play early. And you're going to go 500 coming out of the gate, and you're not going to be the 1 seed. And it's going to be a lot harder for you to get to the Super Bowl if you do that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the downside. But with the Niners, my take on it is that they don't want to trade Aiyuk because that would be saying that we're giving up on this year just in appearance sake. And so they say, well, we can't do that. But I think that trading Aiyuk might be the best play. If they aren't willing to pay him his market value, well, how do you expect this to end? By stringing him along with the 5th year and then franchise tagging him? I mean, you want a happy player. You want a player contributing that's ready to contribute and motivated to do so. If you string Aiyuk along with hardball, I don't think you're going to get the best version of him, and you're not going to start the year well.
Okay, let's stay right here. I'm going to do devil's advocate for the sake of it, because I think I have a good point here, and I don't even know that I agree with making him play at the 5th year option, but you can make an argument for it because last 2 extensions, what are the last 3 extensions? Bosa, Deebo, Warner, are those the last 3? In each case, the player who got the extension had a relative down year right after getting the extension. It happened. Don't know why. So you could argue, yeah, they're happy. Maybe they're a little too happy. Maybe that whatever $50 million signing bonus or whatever the guaranteed money is, or having your life change forever and ever changes things. Maybe you want a pissed off, hungry Brandon Aiyuk. It's like, hey, man, sorry. You want $27 million a year? Not quite ready to give you that. But if you want to bet on yourself and have another contract year and stick it to us, by all means.
They could, but that's kind of wishing that scenario into being, which the Niners are fond of doing also.
Yeah, well, it's doing something differently.
It is.
It's doing something differently. I mean, some of these players do a lot better in contract years. I mean, maybe giving a guy a 4 or 5 year deal is for the sake of it isn't necessary. I mean, it's worked out. Fred Warner bounced back. Yeah. But I don't know.
In Aiyuk's defense, I would say he's earned it. He put in the work, the effort, he elevated his game. Look what he did. And so from a team basis, from a morale, from a team character, and just who you are as an organization standpoint, rewarding Aiyuk is the thing you should do. But if you're going to tell yourself, well, we're not going to spend $27.5 million because we don't throw enough, then trade him. Get a rookie receiver that fills that role instead. Yeah. Why would you want to keep Aiyuk when you know that you're not optimizing what you can do with him? Yeah, I would much rather keep Aiyuk and throw more, but that's for them to decide.
How many teams have multiple wide receivers who make more than $23 million a year?
Cincinnati might have that trouble, but
they might, but they're dragging their feet on the issue too, aren't they? With T. Higgins. Yeah. So it's something that most teams don't want, avoid.
No.
And what's crazy about the Niners is they're going to be in that situation, could be. And then next year they'll have a quarterback who's a top 5 paid at his position too. So all of a sudden, like, you're in a position that no other team's in. So I think, and this is what I told my mailman, shout out to Jose, about an hour ago, is I think what the Niners might want to do in a perfect world is come to an agreement with Aiyuk, considering he's so good and still ascending, and maybe trade Deebo next year.
Or after June. Either one.
Or after June. Yeah.
Yeah. But I think they would need to
June, at the latest next year.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think that we'll start to see evidence of that based on what they do in the draft. If they take somebody, if they trade down from the first and take Malachi Corley, that would be the easiest signal to read in saying that they're moving on from Deebo. They're getting the Deebo sequel. And so we'll see what they do in the draft as far as foreshadowing what they plan to do with Deebo. But I would much rather keep Aiyuk and move on from Deebo, be it in June or next year. I think that's a better play for them.
Yeah. I just don't feel like the Niners want to make any drastic changes to their offense. That's the vibe I'm getting. They feel like it's really good. Results in the playoffs be damned. and they're going to run it back. So the idea of trading Aiyuk or Deebo right now doesn't seem like something they want to do. And I think from their perspective, they don't have to.
No.
Like, Brandon, like, you don't want our offer, and you don't really have you don't have leverage here. You think you do, but if you don't like our offer, we're more than happy to let you play at the 5th-year option for a lot of reasons.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So it could lead to that default. But
yeah,
here's the scenario where they could trade him is if they say that they've got a team between 13 and 19, Bowers drops, and the team between 13 and 19 says, we want Aiyuk. What will Shanahan do then? Now it's a tougher call for Kyle, is that does he want that second tight end to that extent that he'd give up Aiyuk? I wouldn't. I think that your team is much better served to give up more picks now, keep Aiyuk, and have a better overall team. But that could change the dynamic in terms of the decision points for the Niners. And the other thing to factor in is the Washington Post reported this week that Pittsburgh is still looking to try to acquire a veteran number 1 receiver. And so top of their shopping list is probably Brandon Aiyuk.